you know what heavy metal poisoning is? Well, if you don't, then Dina and I are going to discuss it in today's episode of Care TV. Before we begin though, let me talk about mineral imbalances. Our body essentially has essential minerals that are required for all the bodily processes that happen. If any of these minerals are imbalanced or they're replaced with unhealthy minerals, then that's what we call heavy metal poisoning. Dina is going to go into more details, so we hope you're excited for today's episode, and we really hope that you get something vital out of it.
So Dina, we've heard a lot about this word in the recent years, heavy metal poisoning. Could you care to define what heavy metal poisoning is?
Heavy metal poisoning has recently taken a lot of limelight, because people are getting aware of it, that actually heavy metal does cause a lot of onset of a lot of diseases. I mean, in particular, kidney failure, liver failure, tumor growth, cancer growth, all has been linked to heavy metal. There are many types of heavy metal. It could be aluminium, copper, arsenic, nickel, lead, mercury. But the most prominent ones or the most dangerous ones are that I see of late people getting will be mercury, lead, and followed by arsenic. Arsenic is very much dependent on the modern diets of today.
Okay, can you talk more in specific about mercury? Can you tell us what mercury poisoning is and how lethal it is?
Mercury, like I've just told you just now, is one of the most toxic heavy metal that anybody could face. And in fact, in 2013, there's a treaty. There's a treaty signed held in Geneva, in Switzerland. In 2013, they actually trying to minimize or even ban the usage of amalgam. That the one that we use to fill our fillings, the tooth fillings, the silver fillings, and that one contains about 50% mercury. That's a very high score, and it contains, and what happens is, in fact, countries like Canada, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, even Russia and Japan, they have already banned the use of amalgam because it contains mercury.
Could you tell us what mercury poisoning is and how lethal it is in today's world?
Yes, the reason why it's so, what happens is, if let's say you are using the amalgam to fill the tooth fillings, and every day we are eating, and mercury is released in a vapor form, and every day we are having friction. When we eat, there's a friction on the base of our fillings, and what happens is it will release the vapor and we will inhale back, and all this vapor over the years will be lodged in our cellular level, and it can go very deep.
Okay, and what about lead? Where does lead come from and how does it affect a person?
Lead basically comes from utensils, the utensils that we use, or either that it could be when either we stay near a busy road or even a place where there's a lot of industrial factories. That is usually where lead will come from.
And what are the symptoms of, say, heavy metal poisoning?
Let's talk about in general lead, not just lead or heavy metal. It gets into our cellular level. It gets lodged in there, and it can be very deep, and over a period of many years, and it can surface like depression, Alzheimer, schizophrenia, and it can cause our liver and kidney to damage. And basically, all this heavy metal will actually attack our brain in the long run. People with depressive moods, if they have depressive moods or depression, they should actually do a check whether they have heavy metal poisoning. And heavy metal, you must understand, doesn't stop at the person having it. If the mother is filled with heavy metal or the father is filled with heavy metal, it can be passed on to the fetus. And that's where, autism rise. That's where the kid gets autism, one of the symptoms. Yeah, and if you check on the autistic kids, there's a possibility that if the child has mercury, if you check further on the parents, definitely they may have also mercury or other heavy metal poisoning.
Thank you for watching today's episode of Care TV with me, Amrit. Let me just summarize what Dinah said in today's episode. She spoke about 3 heavy metals being responsible for a lot of the damage that happened to our bodies: mercury, lead, and arsenic. Although there are other heavy metals that do cause a lot of damage, these were the 3 primary ones that she spoke about. And they're mainly pertinent to our lifestyle and our environment, which is what needs to change in the long run. If you want to know more specific tips, make sure to watch our next episode in Care TV, where Dinah talks about some real life examples and also gives some valuable information on how to protect yourself from this very, very serious issue. Thank you for watching today's episode of Care TV. Make sure to subscribe to our channel below and do not forget to stay tuned for more such information to take care of your health and wellness. This is me, Amrit, signing off for today.
Basically, removing heavy metal is not a straightforward matter. It goes through 2 phases. One is chelation, that is, we chelate it from the blood system.